Alright, let's talk. Let's talk.
So, what are you ranting about out there now? The train.
What do you mean about the train?
Blasting the train whistles. This is the way it is in the town of Didsbury.
That's awesome.
Are you vaping again?
Does it matter?
Yes, it
Our
does.
country is going bankrupt, Mom.
Because I will not allow it in my house. And if you're vaping in my house, you're going into the hospital and you're staying there. I told you that when you came back here.
I'm willing to discuss things, but you need to be willing to talk.
You need to stop trying to silence me when I tell you things.
Okay? Fair.
I will not tolerate vaping. And I warned you before you came here.
I will not tolerate my country going bankrupt when I have an economic idea that is illegal to fund in the country of Canada, so saith the government.
You are trying to do something that is impossible.
No, it's not. I've met all legal requirements, so saith our law.
And you need to focus on what you are doing and let all of this other stuff go.
No, I am not going to take no for an answer this time. Because we have a federal election coming up, that means
We do not.
we have a federal election coming up, which means there's time to plan.
Where is this election?
What do you mean, where's the election?
Where is this election that's coming up?
In 2 weeks, they're going to be voting on the budget that was presented this week in the country of Canada.
And you refuse to listen to Dad and I.
Because
We have got far more experience. You're 28, we're in our 60s. We know how governments work. We know full well the NDP will not go with the Conservatives. This budget will pass. They do not, and we already had this discussion, they do not want to do an election.
why not?
Because the NDP has no chance in hell of winning. And right now, I don't believe the Conservatives have any chance. So therefore, they're not going to challenge the Liberals.
So why would it be viewed as psycho-crazy talk to offer Canadian citizens door number 3, the Disney parody of Canada?
Because that sounds stupid.
Everyone wants money, but no one wants to listen to my ideas. It's probably dead anyways.
Now, you promised us
Mm-hmm.
that you were not
Mm-hmm.
going to vape.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing fun in the country to do, and everyone wonders why there's drug problems everywhere.
We have talked to you and asked you and begged and pleaded with you
Mm-hmm.
to focus on what you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Walking down the street, ranting about Didsbury and the train whistle and the this and the that and who knows what else you're ranting about. Because I haven't heard one of these videos where you're calmly talking.
That's the point, Mom. That's the point. It's a policy. I'm setting the policy and the positions.
People don't get heard when they're ranting and yelling.
That's the point, too. They're going to have to suck it up because the idea comes from me. And no one wants to listen to me rant because I've been ranting about this for 6 years.
And where has it gotten you? It's gotten you put in the hospital a few times?
I've been incarcerated in my country for the crime of trying to conduct business. I'm sitting in Canada, locked and incarcerated by my government, because I can't get an idea to Elon Musk.
Because what you're doing and the way you're doing it is crazy.
Do you understand how the Pirate Party operates, Mom? This is entirely legitimate and it is going to work.
Pirate Party is a joke.
Because they've never had a platform worth running on. I've just given them a golden opportunity. If the Pirate Party members converted to the Disney Party members, this budget will work. Because I've been working on it for 6 months to ensure that no one could possibly say no lest they be a crazy psychopath. You would be the crazy psychopath to say no to this proposal.
You know, a couple weeks ago, I was extremely proud
Yes.
to sit in that auditorium in Lethbridge and see my son walk across that stage in his cap and gown with honors, with great distinction.
I know, I have a 4.0 GPA and I am broke and unemployed and homeless because my country doesn't invest in industry, they only invest in more government.
I was proud because you finished something. Now I'm thoroughly disgusted because you have not touched that game.
There's no economic incentive to do so.
Get it done. Get it on the market.
On the market so that I can be robbed by all of the profit by my government. I am open to suggestions, but you don't want to give me your ideas. You just want to sit there and yell.
Oh, you're the one that's yelling. You're yelling on YouTube videos.
Yes, because that's how this particular
Okay, so how
channel
come-
operates.
How come it's okay for you to yell, but it's not okay for me to yell?
It is fine for you to yell.
Okay.
You can yell.
I am trying to do this calmly.
Okay.
I am trying to ask you to set this aside and finish what you started with that game. I have been telling people how impressed I am of this game, and I can't even show them and say, look, here it is. I can show them a little bit of video. Well, the cards don't work, and this doesn't work, and that doesn't work. I want to be able to say, yes, this game out here was created by my son who is bright and has the talent to do it, but I can't do that until it gets out there. And it's not going to get out there until it gets finished. And it's not going to get finished as long as you mess around with all this other stuff.
This other stuff is planning for the solution to everything, because it will fund the game studio too.
But it's a pipe dream.
Why not run on a pipe dream election? If there's a 1% chance in winning in this country on a pipe dream election, why not give Canadians door number 3?
So, okay, let's say you get this party going,
Okay?
and you get people to run,
Mm-hmm.
and you get absolutely 0 votes.
Yes.
Then what? Then will you believe that your whole idea is crazy?
No.
No.
Because
you'll
Elon is
argue-
building,
you'll argue and argue and
Elon
argue.
Musk is building this level of infrastructure that I'm suggesting down in Texas. Your brother lives down there.
What I'm saying, Evan, is something that is going to go nowhere. Instead of focusing on something that has a higher possibility of going somewhere. Finish off the game.
I'm focusing on a budget for the entire country that makes sense.
Yeah, but you're not in government.
Yeah.
You don't have a chance at getting your budget any more than I have a chance of budgeting your life. You won't listen to me. You won't pay any attention to what I say.
And you won't listen to me when I'm trying to tell you that there is no economic incentive for game studios to exist in the province of Alberta.
Then
Because an
why
American
don't you
corporation
go?
lost one of their divisions up here in Edmonton, and it put 600 workers out of work.
So get your game studio going.
I can't.
No, listen. Get your game studio going and prove that wrong. You're doing this course.
Mhm.
What is the purpose of it?
It's a business and entrepreneurship course.
And it's supposed to get your business going, your game studio launched.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Okay. So focus on that and focus on the game that is going to be produced in that game studio.
Yes.
And forget this.
If I were to drop this now, let's say, I were to just drop it now and walk away, and our country drives us all into bankruptcy, starvation, and death, would that just be okay?
Yes, because you know what? You don't have control over this country. And you know what? You don't have control over this world. And you know what? There is a Bible that says this world is coming to an end. And everything that is happening in this world right now is what is predicted in the Bible. And you know what else? You do not have any control over that. It is going to happen no matter what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So work on something to earn some money
Mm-hmm.
and let this other stuff go.
I agree. That's why I am. I'm working on videos that will produce more income for Canadian citizens. But everyone thinks it's crazy psycho talk.
Those videos are not going to get you a job. Those videos are not going to support you.
So why
Do you
is our
think
military spending 80 billion of our tax dollars, because we're just working and working and working and working and being slaved to death? They're spending all of that money supporting American businesses.
I cannot speak for them, what they do, but you're not going to change things with what you're doing.
Why not? Why not?
Because it's not logistically possible. It is not financially sound. It is not mentally sound. All they're gonna see is some lunatic that needs to be in a hospital.
Why is it that everyone seems to think that it is a crime to suggest building anything of substantial size anywhere in this country?
Bring your voice down. A Disney park is not feasible in this country.
Why?
I don't care whether it's BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, or anywhere else in this country.
Tell me why.
Because a theme park needs to be open year round. And I don't want to hear any more about this theme of the winter and frozen. It's not something that people want to do. If they want to go to a theme park, they're going to go to a warm climate, not put their boots and their toques and their gloves and go marching around in 1.5 feet of snow and ice to go and ride on a Disney ride. It's just not something. That's why things like Canada's Wonderland in Ontario shuts down for the winter. That's why Callaway Park shuts down for the winter, because people aren't interested in traipsing around in cold, icy, snowy weather to go and ride a roller coaster.
Why would you say that? I worked at a ski resort, and that's exactly what they do. They go out into mountainous terrain to trudge through snow to go skiing.
You get a few people that want to go skiing, and that's what they're doing. They're not riding a roller coaster. They're not going to a theme park. They're thinking, it's winter, let's go skiing. Not, it's winter, let's go to a theme park. In the summer, it's like, yeah, let's go to Callaway Park. Let's have some fun in the sun. The sun. The heat. The warmth.
Okay, well, we're never going to be able to financially afford the sun. We have now been financially locked out of the sun.
Well, then you need
because
to
we
let-
will not be able to travel or afford to travel to America.
then
We'll
you
just go
need to
bankrupt.
let the Americans deal with Trump and get him out, and maybe then things will change. But right now, you can't do anything about Trump from what he's doing. Carney, who's the head of this country, can't do anything about Trump and what he's doing.
So why can a homeless man on a couch write a better budget than the minister?
Because you think you've got a better budget. You are not privy to everything that goes on in the government. That's why I have always said elections are stupid. Election promises are crap, because the person who hasn't sat in that chair doesn't totally know and understand what goes on in that office. So therefore, they're making promises out here. Once they get in, if they're lucky enough, then they go, oh, wow, gee, I didn't realize, I didn't know, I didn't understand. You don't have that knowledge. I mean, you don't even have a slight bit of that knowledge by being an MLA or an MP or anything.
You know what?
Not even a counselor in the town of Didsbury to understand what goes on in those meetings.
Well, here's a question. Neither did Trump when he first came into office. Trump didn't know anything at all about government.
And look what he's done. He's totally destroyed the country and the relationship with other countries.
Then why are we using taxpayer dollars to subsidize Walmart?
I don't know. What difference does that make?
Because if you focused on the business where it's an American company, why are we using taxpayer dollars of our own choosing to fund American businesses and build them while they lock us up here?
Because they got their fingers into up here long before we got screwed with the states. And Walmart's not the only American company that's up here. And you know what? Tim Hortons was a Canadian company. And all of a sudden, they started building Tim Hortons in the States. It just goes both ways. More so from the States to Canada, yes, I agree. But that's because they have more business, more power, more people.
They also think differently about math. Because no one in our country understands math. If you can't seem to understand why retaining only 37% of the value of a product that you've produced with 100% of your effort and no one else contributing, if I retain 37% of that, it means someone is just profiting off of my work for free. I'm being robbed and stolen from.
Well, you know what? Everybody. How much comes off of Dad's check every month? It goes to the government. You know, it's a part of living. Unfortunately, we have taxes. We have income tax. We have, not provincial tax here, but GST tax. We have property tax. We have school tax. We don't have kids in school. But you know what? We still pay.
I know, Canadians are paying through the roof for everything.
And it's the way life is, and that's not going to change no matter what crazy ideas you have.
So why are we spending $80 billion on American-produced warplanes?
Don't know why, Evan. Because maybe Canadians can't produce them.
It's because they're not innovating industry, they only build more government programs.
So each government is going to run their country the way they think is best for their country. And you're not going to change that. And I'm sorry, but ranting on YouTube videos or whatever other platform you're ranting on isn't going to get you anywhere. It's going to get more and more people saying, who is this whacked out weirdo that needs to be in a hospital?
If it's illegal and I am incarcerated in my country for suggesting anything big or bold, like a moonshot development project, my country is imprisoning me here for the crime of trying to suggest business.
You just need to work on the business that